Welcome back, everybody, to Interviewing Sports. My name is James Irvin. I know why you're all here. You just want to see who I have between Kelce and Kittle and other teams' tight ends you want to see. But the main reason why everybody's here, and the tight end video will be called, Who is Better, Travis Kelce or George Kittle? Now, I'm not going to go into a whole-on, full, in-depth breakdown because I still do have everything to cover. If you want to see that video, though, please make sure drop a like and subscribe. Other quick announcements. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I am very inconsistent with what I'm saying I'm going to do versus what I'm actually going to do, so I need to stop telling you guys what I'm going to do because I'm disappointing you guys, and for that, I feel terrible, and I'm very sorry. Also, Nick Chubb fell off the thing, so he's no longer here. Let's get right into the list. Honorable mentions. Robert Tonyan of the Green Bay Packers. Awesome receiving threat tight end. He's not there yet. Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. Gronk is a weird one because he was retired, but he's one of the best tight ends of all time. I don't know where to put him there. And then TJ Hawkinson. He was a toss-up to get number 5, but I ultimately went with another choice. Also, Kyle Pitts isn't on here because he's a rookie and hasn't played a snap. So Falcons fans and all NFL fans who have been, in love with Kyle Pitts over the past month, I do think he's going to be amazing, and I do think he will be a top 5 tight end when... Just based off his rookie year alone, I think he has potential to be that good. He hasn't played a snap yet in the NFL, so he's not on the list, and he's not even on the honorable mentions. In fact, he's on the hasn't played a snap in the NFL, so I'm not going to judge him yet because I haven't seen him play a snap in the NFL. So now that argument is over and out of the way. Let's get into the top 5. Number 5 is Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. He is Lamar Jackson's number 1 receiver. Hollywood Brown isn't. You look at the numbers, Mark Andrews is better and more reliable. He's got a better catch percentage, and he just goes for more yards. Mark Andrews, number 1 receiving threat. Mike Gesicki, number 4, a guy who doesn't get nearly enough love as he deserves. Mike Gesicki could be Tua's number 1 weapon, but they did go out and get Will Fuller, so that's okay. Look, Mike Gesicki is cool and really good. He's got really, really good, stuff right there. When he was with Ryan Fitzpatrick, he was the number 1 target. And I feel like he'll be Tua's number 1 target in the NFL. Mike Gesicki is so good, but there are 3 guys better than him. And that number 3 is Darren Waller. In fact, he could be the number 1 tight end in a few years. I'm not kidding. Darren Waller is so good. He's like a receiver. He's a very big, wide receiver who can also get down there and block. Darren Waller is a huge reason why the Raiders' offense is successful, and it wasn't successful at some games. But Darren Waller is a huge part of that offense. Him and Derek Carr seem to have some sort of connection. Maybe you get a better quarterback in there like Derek Carr. Imagine Darren Waller with someone like Patrick Mahomes, who Travis Kelce has. Darren Waller is going to put up 1,000 yards every year, but Darren Waller is just so good. The way he runs his routes, how fast he is. He's bigger than a corner and a linebacker. Some linebackers, Devin White, probably get offended at that. But most linebackers probably can't cover Darren Waller. He's so good. You can put him on a streak route, put him over the middle. No matter what you can do, Darren Waller will do it. But we know who the 2 in front of him are. We talked about him at the front of the video. Travis Kelce or George Kittle. Look at some numbers, shall we? I'm not going to look at George Kittle's 2020 because he was hurt, but he did have 48 receptions, 634 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's all we're going off of, by the way. It's just those numbers. I mean, you look at more, but come on. But in his last full healthy season, 85 receptions, 1,535 yards, and 1,053, and 5 touchdowns right there for George Kittle. And then Travis Kelce goes 105 receptions, 1,416 yards, and 11 touchdowns. These 2 are 1A, 1B. Kelce's got the better quarterback. Kittle's a better blocker. Kelce gets open more. Kelce's got that. Kittle's got that. It ultimately comes down to preference. Do you want your tight end to be more of a blocker, or do you want your tight end to be more of a receiving threat? And George Kittle can be a receiving threat. It is so hard to tackle. I think besides Derrick Henry and Cam Newton in his prime, George Kittle is one of the hardest dudes to tackle. Remember, in 2019, the Niners were wanted to be 13-3. They wanted that 1 seed, and they had to go to New Orleans, and New Orleans almost beat them. But George Kittle had 15 dudes on him. He was just no, I'm running. It was so incredible, and it was so fun to watch. I hate the 49ers just because of how many times they've beat my Green Bay Packers, but George Kittle is the people's tight end, okay? Is he my person's tight end? Travis Kelce is so good too, but George Kittle is the better blocker. It's a fact. But Travis Kelce is the better receiving threat, and it just ultimately comes down to product. I will not be mad. It's like the Devontae Adams D-Hop, which I got a lot of hate comments for that. I will not be mad if you put Kelce over Kittle, or Kittle over Kelce, or Adams over D-Hop, or D-Hop over Adams. There's cases for both things. For my list specifically, which is the younger view in sports with James Irvin, nobody else, and I've been saying it for years, and I will continue to fight for this man unless something drastic happens. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the NFL. Boom, mic drop. You heard it here first. I'm not going to drop the microphone. A little expensive, but you heard it here first. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the NFL. George Kittle, for me, is number 2. I just think the way Kelce plays, the way he gets open more, the way he puts more target. The NFL has changed. Back in the day, when tight ends were mainly for blocking, George Kittle is the best tight end in the league because just he could block and do it all. But the way the NFL has evolved and the offense Travis Kelce is in, Travis Kelce's better. Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid kind of got similar style of offense they're going. And Travis Kelce seems to succeed more. Now, it could do with quarterback play, could do with other things, but Travis Kelce also compete with Tyreek Hill. George Kittle doesn't have a Tyreek Hill type receiver on his team. Now, he could be with Deebo Samuel. He could. And Brandon Ayuk maybe in a few years, but he just doesn't have that now. So, Travis Kelce, number 1 tight end in the league for me. He just excels more. He gets open more. He gets more yards, and he's such a better red zone threat. It's not funny. So there's my list: Mark Andrews, Baltimore Ravens; Mike Gesicki, Darren Water, George Kittle, and Travis Kelce. Let me know you guys think of your list down below. Like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you for listening.